Today's lesson is about estimating solutions by graphing equations. Your learning target says, I can estimate solutions to systems of equations by graphing when both equations are in slope-intercept form. Here's a bit of background information about systems of equations. So a system of equations is a collection of two or more equations with the same set of variables. This year, we're only going to deal with two sets of equations with the same variables. The solution to the system is the point or points where the two lines meet or are solutions to both equations. And we have some options for solving. You can solve a system through the graphing method, which is what we're doing today, the elimination method, which is in another lesson, or the substitution method, which is also another lesson. So I have two equations here. They are both in slope-intercept form, which is what I really want when I'm dealing with graphing. So one way to estimate the solution is to graph these two equations on the same coordinate plane. So I'm going to graph this one first, and then I'm going to graph this one. And if the lines intersect, I will have one ordered pair. If they never intersect, I will have no answer. And if one lies on top of the other, I will have an infinite number of solutions. So let me start by getting a coordinate plane. I'm going to sort of off-center this a bit because I have an idea of how this is going to look. I'm going to graph my blue equation first. So my y-intercept is 2, so that means I'm going to start at 0, 2. There's my y-intercept. My slope is really a 1, so that means I can go up 1 to the right 1, up 1 to the right 1, and I'm going to do my best to connect the dots as straight as I can. Okay, so all I did was I graphed my blue equation. Now it's time to graph my red equation on the same coordinate plane. So my y-intercept is at -4. So I'm going to start my graph at 0, -4, which is down here. And then I'm going to count down to the right 1, and down to and to the right 1, because that is my slope. And then I'm going to connect my dots straight as I can make it. And I'm going to look for a point of intersection. So right here. And that's why when we're talking about solving systems with graphing, we're really estimating. It'd be great if everything came out to be a nice whole number, but that's not the case in reality. So sometimes solving systems with graphing is the best way to go, and other times not so much. But for this one, I have a clear intersection. I think my answer is going to be the ordered pair -2, 0, because that's where the intersection happens. But then here's my question: how can I prove that I am correct? Well, if my answer is -2, 0, this is my x-coordinate, this is my y-coordinate, I could simply take my blue equation from up above and my red equation from up above, and I could substitute my x value and my y value into those equations and see what happens. So for example, on my blue equation, y was 0. Whoops, I didn't change my color. Let me try that again. Y was 0, x was -2, and I had a 2 on the end as my y-intercept. That is a true statement. So at least half of my system works with this answer. Okay, let me try the same thing with my my red equation. The y value was 0. I had -2 times my x value, and then -4 at the end. If I work this out, -2 times -2 is 4. That's also true. So if that ordered pair works for both equations, then this is indeed my answer. So let's make things just a bit trickier. I want you to look at these two, and they are in what's called standard form. And I want you to think about what might be a good first step when asked to solve the following system, thinking back to our learning target. So pause me and then come back when you think you have a good answer as to what you think we should do first. All right, our learning target said when both were in slope-intercept form. So let's do a little bit of algebra magic, and let's solve for y. So I'm going to take 2x's off of this side. This is gone. That leaves negative 3y's on one side, negative 2x's and 6 on the other. My y is still not isolated, so I'm going to divide both sides by negative 3. That leaves y on one side. I have a positive 2/3 x. And 6 divided by negative 3 is a negative 2. So now I have something that's easy for me to graph. Would you pause me while you fix the other equation? I'm going to call this my blue equation, so that it is in slope-intercept form. And when you're ready, come back for checking. All right, so I am going to add 2x's to both sides. And that leaves y by itself on one side with 2x's and a negative 10 on the other. Now that's in a form I can graph easily. So what I would like you to do is I would like you to graph my red equation, graph the blue equation. See if you can figure out where they intersect. Remember, if they intersect in one location, you have one answer. If they are parallel, you will have no answers. And if one line lies right on top of the other line, you have an infinite number. And when you are done and you think you have an answer, I want you to prove that you are correct. So pause me while you're working and then come back when you're ready for checking. So I have my red graph. My y-intercept was at 0, negative 2, and I counted up 2 to the right 3, up 2 to the right 3. My blue equation, my y-intercept started at 0, negative 10, and I counted up 2 to the right 1, up 2 to the right 1. So it looks like I have one point of intersection right here, which happens to be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2. To prove if that is right, I'm going to bring down my red equation. I'm going to bring down my blue equation. And I'm going to substitute. I have an x value and I have a y value. So for the red one, my y is 2. Then I had 2/3 times the x number minus 2. 2/3 times 6 is 4, and 4 minus 2 is 2, so that is true. So let me check with the blue equation. My y number was 2, and then 2 times my x number. So I had 2 equals 12 minus 10. That is also true. So it looks like I have one answer to my system of equations. Sometimes your system of equations is hiding within a story problem. And I noticed that I have a typo in here that I meant to take care of. Down here, this should be points, and this should be points. So PTS, PTS. Okay, so let's start. Derek scored 30 points in a basketball game, and not once did he go to the free throw line. That means Derek scored 2-point or 3-point shots all game. So we can write an equation for that. We can take 2 points for every 2-point shot and add 3 points for every 3-point shot, and we should get 30 points. So keep in mind, this is how many shots, and we're going to multiply it by 2 for 2 points each. And this is how many shots, and we're going to multiply by 3 for a 3-point shot. So we have our first equation. Our other equation, Derek also said that his 2-point points is 6 more than his 3-point points. So in other words, his shots made from 2-pointers, his total points for those are 6 more than the points that came from his 3-pointers. All right, so we have our system here. They're not in slope-intercept form. So I want you to pause me, put them in slope-intercept form, find an answer, check it, and then come back for checking with me. So go ahead and pause me now. Okay, well, you're going to see my work on the red side. I subtracted 2 x's from both sides first. Then I divided both sides by 3, and I ended up with y equals negative 2/3 x plus 10. That means my y-intercept is at 0, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up here. And I'm going to move down 2 and to the right 3. Down 2 and to the right 3. And I'm going to connect my dots. All right, that was not the straightest of lines. Let me try that again. Okay. And then for my blue graph, I subtracted 6 from both sides, and then I divided both sides by 3. So I ended up with 2/3 x plus negative 2 equals y. So I'm going to start at 0, negative 2 right here. I'm going to count up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3, and I'm going to connect my dots. And I'm just off by a bit, but I think I might be close enough. That's what graphing does to you. If you don't use a straight edge, you might not be exact. So we're going to test this. So I think my answer might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think my answer might be 9, 4. So if I were to put 9 in right here, 9, and 4 in right here, I would have 18 plus 12. That's 30, so that works. If I were to put a 9 in right here and a 4 in right here, I would have 12 plus 6. 12 plus 6 is 18. That works out just fine. I had a hard time reading my writing because I wrote over things. So it looks like my answer is that Derek scored 9 2-point shots and 4 3-point shots. I want you to try this one by yourself. Can you find the 2 equations that make up the system? And once you find them, can you solve it using graphing and then check that you are correct? So pause me while you work this one out and then come back when you're ready for checking. Okay, well, let's start with our first equation. And I don't think I told you, but I'm going to have the vocabulary be my x's and the spelling be my y's. So on the first one, I know there are 26 total questions. So the vocabulary and the spelling together have to equal 26 questions. So to solve that for a y, I would subtract x from both sides, and I'd have y equals negative 1x plus 26. Okay, on the other one, it says that there are 2-point questions and there are 5-point questions, and I need 100 points altogether. So, spelling words are 2 points each, and vocabulary words are 5 points each, and I need 100 points. So to isolate my y, I'm going to subtract 5 x's from both sides. I'm left with 2 y's on one side, negative 5 x's and 100 on the other. Divide by 2. And y is going to be negative 5 halves x and 50. All right, when you go to graph this is going to be a big graph. So I'm going to, let me change colors here. I'm hoping I have enough space here. So on the first one, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Okay, I'm going to count by 5s. So I'm going to start at 26. So 0, 26 for my red graph. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 26 is about, down a little bit, right there. I'm going to move down 1 over 1. Down 1 over 1. Down 1 over 1. And it's going to be something like that. Not very accurate. And then on my other one, I'm going to start at 50. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Let me try that again. 50. I'm going to count down 5 and over 2. Count down 5 and over 2. So it's going to look something like this. Down 5 over 2. All right. So I'm about to give you the reason why graphing is not the best option. Sometimes the graph is too big or not accurate enough. Now, if you had a bigger piece of graph paper than I did, it is possible that you intersected at 1610. So there were 16 vocabulary questions and 10 spelling questions. But graphing only works when things are nice and neat, small graphs, whole numbers. So this is one of your options, and so it doesn't work all the time. This is probably not the best option for this problem, but I wanted to show you why graphing doesn't always work. So if you did end up getting the right answer, 1610, you simply would have plugged in the 16 right here for your x and 10 right here for your y. Negative 16 plus 26 is 10, so that one is true. And then here, my y is 10. And if I put my x in for 16, it also is true. So that is the correct answer, although my graph didn't show it very well. So we have 2 other options besides graphing, one of which is going to be elimination and one is going to be substitution. And so those are going to be some lessons coming up in the future.